Am I left-handed? No. But I can use both hands on your mom. So we got ourselves a run that I did not that long ago, where I was much more practiced at my commentary. So I want to watch this run and put myself down here. Yeah, you don't need to see. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And I just want to see what kind of notes I can take while watching this. So let me open up a notepad. All bosses notes. Sure. All right. And just executionally and like all the different glitches. Shut up. Play the video game. Good. Nerd. All right. At the very beginning of the game, I'm actually going to be playing as the alternate character, Richter, instead. So I bring up Richter. Start. Is there a reason to bring that up? As Richter. I'm basically just making some bullet points, and then I'm going to do some no resets while... Yeah, as you can see, this is a video game. Well, I am going to be performing this in front of people who may have never seen this game before. And Richter's name is on the screen. So I think it's fair to say I'm going to start as Richter instead of Alucard. And the category name is called Alucard All Bosses. So yeah, I think that's fair. Instead of Alucard. This is the prologue sequence. Start the prologue as Richter. The important thing to note about the prologue sequence is everything that I'm doing here is actually important for setting up my stats and my equipment at the end of the prologue sequence when I start playing as Alucard. 5, 6. And the important thing to note about damaging Dracula here is I'm going to be using Hydrostorm, which is an item crash ability. Rest of the run. From using the Holy Water. I'm also going to be throwing the Holy Water on the ground after using the Hydrostorm. It gives you a random chance to do extra damage. You can see Dracula's health bar just completely damage because of the extra damage. And then I want to end with 0 hearts. That's also important for an extra item I'm going to get. But yeah, that's the prologue sequence done very, very quickly. And we are basically immediately going. So the 3 things I'm going to state is we start the prologue, we play as Richter. Everything we do here sets up our item and stats for the rest of the run. When we start playing as Alucard. God, there's so much to this is why I want to take notes, because there's so much to explain in such a small amount of time. Of the run. At the start of the game, you start with very powerful equipment. At the same time, the audience doesn't care about most of it, or wouldn't have context. That's what I figured you were trying to say, yeah. I will introduce the game as Symphony of the Night. It's good. Have you never seen a GDQ before? I'm not going to take advice from you, dude. You don't know what's going on here. That's one of the skills that I'm learning as an individual, is who to take advice from. Sometimes just don't take advice from people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And that's okay. People that have literally never done this before. First things first. This equipment is meant to be taken away from you in a cutscene with the starting with and we're going to be doing a glitch known as the death skip. Gear. The specific glitch we're going to be doing is called a reverse shift line, and calling it a reverse shift line. We discussed this last time we did this like a year ago, where I sat down and tried to make notes. So, Death will try and take it away. Death skip. Okay. To prevent this.
And then... do I explain the other version?
Essentially what that means is we are going to be manipulating where Alucard gets sent after a screen transition.
Do I bring up Big Toss Death Skip here? Like, some of you might be familiar with a method of skipping death that requires damage boosting off of one of these wargs. I'll even call him a wolf. One of these wolves. There's not enough time. There really isn't. Okay. So, reverse shift line. I'll bring it up. How do I explain it here? Because I think I did a decent job.
Manipulating where Alucard gets sent after a screen transition.
Manipulating where Alucard gets sent after a screen transition. I think that it took us a long time to come up with that, but I think that was... I think that was the verbiage that took us a while to write down, but I remember sitting down and working on that one, yeah.
By pausing the screen at a specific point on the screen.
By pausing the screen. How about freezing the screen? I think freezing is a better term. Because pausing makes people think that I'm using the pause button, possibly. Freezing the screen. At a specific point. Sounds fine.
And I just have to be very careful in this room, randomly spawning zombies. Okay, made it through there.
We say freeze anyways, not pause. Yeah, I said pause here.
One of the items I even got from the prologue sequence is known as the neutron bomb. I'm going to be using that to get my level up off this last warg in the room. And
here we will use a level up to freeze the screen to perform the reverse shift line and skip death. Cool. Yeah.
And that's going to pause the screen and activate the reverse shift line. So I'm going to use the map to buffer the inputs to make it a tiny bit easier. Let me see if I can get it. That should be it. There we go. And just like that, the screen flashed there for a second. That was the room where death would have taken away my equipment. And I completely skipped it, keeping all this overpowered equipment, and we can move on with the rest of the run. Some of you may...
I've said it on stream before. One of the reasons I have my hair like this is because it's an easy way to out individuals who are closed-minded and superficial. Like if somebody wants to like make a big deal out of like, why is your hair like that? It's weird. Then it's like, oh, I don't like you as a person, because a person who emphasizes like stuff like that is someone I don't want to be around. It's a great way of like outing people who are just bigoted in general. What did I say here?
I completely skipped it, keeping all this overpowered equipment.
So I basically reiterate, skipping death lets us keep our overpowered equipment. Nice.
And we can move on with the rest of the run. Some of you may be familiar with a more...
I do try and bring it up after the fact. Yeah, I remember we talked about like we could talk about it after doing death skip, because now there's a lot more time to explain what's going on. Because from here we just have to explain clock rush. Deja vu, yeah. I found you through the Insane World Record run on YouTube. Good luck with the rando speedruns. Thank you. We actually just finished those rando speedruns. I'm rewatching an old run that I did for a GDQ show, because I want to start practicing my commentary for GDQ, which is happening in about a month. Yeah, we've probably had this exact conversation about a year ago, so that's fine. I imagine this was probably going to be the very familiar for those that were around a year ago when we did the same exact thing a year ago. I wish I kept those notes. I'm going to save these notes just in case, but I didn't expect to get all bosses in, but whatever. It's fine. Some of you may be familiar with a different method of skipping death that involves a damage boost off of the... I'm going to call it a wolf because I'm a normie and I'm trying to appeal to the normies. This is in person? This was online. This was an online exhibition. And the run I will be doing will also be online. Yep. If it was in person, I don't know. They chose not to do it in person because Florida is a cesspool, which is fair, I guess. Which was the event location that they had planned for this year. Which is sad because they're probably going to move it out of Florida, and it means that like I probably won't have a great chance of going to in-person GDQs in the future. Because my plan moving forward was I was going to stop going to SGDQ because they have that like pretty far from me. And I was only going to go to, yeah, maybe Texas. I don't know what their plan is. Texas is also kind of overly conservative, which is kind of, I think, their issue. But certain areas in Texas are probably fine, like Austin. I don't know. I don't know if Austin has issues with like mask mandates and stuff like that, because that was part of their issue with Florida is they didn't want to do Florida because Florida didn't require any mask mandates and they didn't want to or vaccination requirements or anything like that. And they didn't want to have to impose it as an event itself. They wanted it to be kind of covered by like the area that they were having the event in, but no. Anyways, that version of Death Skip is actually slower for this run because you would have to... Do I explain luck mode? Fuck. I've had this conversation with you guys before. What do I say here?
Popular version of the death skip where you use like a large damage boost to pass through that room, and that just turns out to be slower in basically every speedrun category, so we use this version instead.
It just turns out to be slow. Yep, I'm so smart. That version of death skip turns out to be slower. To be slower than in almost every... Yeah, I'll just say it turns out to be slower for this run. Easy peasy. Don't need to explain further. Dead. I'm so glad I already did all the work for this.
Is a recent development, or is it kind of just like a general thing?
As of around like 2013, 2014, Sockfolder himself actually was the... Ever since I've been speedrunning the game, you're going to be seeing me do here, death skip.
So that was just me answering a question because that was part of the Speedruns from the Crypt. I won't have people asking me questions necessarily unless I get like Bobby on to like do stuff and like have some back and forth, which I haven't asked and I haven't like prepared for any other commentary, anybody else to be on commentary, but
So
I might do it
one
just
of the main
solo for
forms of movement
convenience.
You're going to be seeing me do here is backdash canceling.
Okay, explain backdash canceling next. Explain shield dashing.
In this case known as shield dashing, I'm essentially pressing the backdash button and then canceling it with the shield over and over and over again. There's a common misconception that
I don't need to explain. Fucking.
a human that like
Bashing is bad.
mash the buttons as fast as possible to go like optimally fast in this game. A human can never really like do optimal mashing, so it's much more important to like keep a steady rhythm and focus more
I don't think I'm gonna bring this
on
up
like, platforming.
because I'm gonna keep it real. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. Nobody is gonna pick up the game from this, and if they do, yeah, nobody
Your
cares.
jump short and like doing.
All right. Shield dashing. I'll just explain that it's much faster than walking. Yeah, they've already stopped listening. Exactly. Shield dashing. I'll say it's like twice as fast as walking. Over twice as fast. Walking. And do I explain cutting jump short? Does that matter?
Keep a steady rhythm and focus more on like platforming, cutting your jump short and like doing combat more efficiently. And speaking of efficient combat, this is going to be our first boss fight of the game. And as you're going to see,
I wouldn't worry about anything that miserable pile of secrets says. Like, I would say they're at like a maybe 20% successful chat rate where they say anything of value.
yeah, I'm a little overpowered. Boss fights in this game.
Boss fights are very easy. Easy because of our overpowered equipment. Gee, thanks. I mean, you're the one that chooses to be like this, bro.
Are very trivial in general, and in this category in particular as well. And since we're going to be fighting all the bosses, the actual meat of this category is much more about the movement in between the bosses. They're more of just like checkpoints along the way.
Nice. I think that is a good way to prep people for what they're going to be seeing. This category. More about the movement between the bosses and less so about strategies to defeat the bosses quickly. Sounds good to me.
But the actual boss fights themselves are not going to be any trouble really at all. But yeah, I guess to explain a little bit about like the main goal
Yeah, they can be technical, but they aren't difficult.
of this run outside of beating all the bosses. At the very beginning, shield dashing is fast, but would be even faster.
Then we can explain the goal, our current goal. Clock, rush, explanation. Get to Wolf and back to Central Clock Room to get the mist, then get Bat. That will be our fastest form of movement.
Is if we had the Bat Relic. The Bat Relic, if you know anything about this game, gives you the ability to transform into the Bat, and it has a specific spell attached to it known as the Wing Smash, and it goes very, very fast. So we are going to try and go as fast as we can to get the Bat Relic. And in order to do so, I'm going to have you look in the top left-hand corner of your screen as I enter this next room. This is the clock room. I need to come back here later, and that statue that just moved in the top left-hand corner, it actually moves in and out of your way in a minute cycle. So every other minute, it's either in your way or out of your way. So in the first 8 minutes of the game, essentially, we are going to collect all of the different relics and movement items that we can before having to come back there. And as long as we
This is very wordy. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to cut this down.
get
We'll
there
we'll
under
mess
8
with some
minutes,
stuff.
We're actually not losing any time because it is stuck on a global cycle, blocking our path until the 8-minute mark. So, I mean, it's nice to go fast here, but essentially there is a decent amount of wiggle room for mistakes to happen, and I'm still technically on world record pace at this point.
Okay.
So it's a very chill section at the very beginning of the run. But moving forward, the thing that we do need is going to be the Wolf Relic, specifically because we're going to use it to do an unintended means of gaining height. Because
yeah, this is so wordy and unnecessarily long. I think I'm going to try and go for a show, not tell approach for some of this stuff. And basically just try and have my commentary help emphasize those moments.
the main reason we can't get past that statue is because our singular jump...
I think I'm better off just allowing for donations to be read at this point. I think we explained the clock rush. We explained that our goal is to get the Soul of Bat. And until we get the Soul of Bat, or until basically read donations. Donations until clock jump. Because then after the clock jump, I think we can start explaining a little bit more about stuff, right? The wolf clock jump thing. So as long as I take time to be like, hey, we're doing, this is called the clock rush. We're getting the soul of wolf. We're going back to the clock room. We're going to wait. Then we're going to get missed. Then we're going to get bad. Something along those lines. And then after I explain that, we'll have them read donations until I get to...
You're supposed to have, like...
Oh, I should explain Doppelganger. Doppelganger, then read more donations. Yeah, if donos go over Doppelganger, it's fine, because this isn't that big of a deal.
So as you can see here, he's just going to stand still and let me kill him. This is a boss fight that I feel like a lot of people growing up might have had a lot of trouble with, because he's
growing up.
Just cheap AF.
Everybody who's played this game is 40 years old at this point.
And yeah, our next objective is going to be getting that wolf relic. It allows us to do slope jumps, which I'll show off very
I think the reason I had to fill so much time is because there were no donations, because this wasn't a GDQ like charity event. It was just a GDQ
by untransforming
thing
in the air as the wolf. The game doesn't intend for you to be able to
What's up, Agamemnon?
That way, but it just kind of works out that you get it.
Yeah. If I get the floor clip, it's cute, but there's no reason to explain it.
So I'm gonna jump.
Wolf slope jumps.
And now,
if I have time to explain, I'll explain. It's not that important, other than garnet will be used later for a glitch. Will be used for a glitch in the shop later, something like that. Because I do like the idea of being like, hey, this thing is gonna be useful later, so that gives people a reason to pay attention to the commentary. What is the target vibe you're going for? I don't know. I think it's mostly informational without it being too wordy. I want it to be like, wow, I feel like I'm learning something about this game. Edutainment. You know who did a great run that explained everything that they were doing? Fucking, not the Elden Ring run, no. I was looking up his Elden Ring stuff. GDQ. Fucking Tomato Anus with his Fallout Anthology run. One of the greatest GDQ runs of all time. Just straight up. Like, super well prepared. Had physical demonstrations. Tomato Anus is the GOAT, by the way. God, he's so good at what he does. But yeah, this is kind of the vibe I'm going for.
Now we have to go and confront.
Kind of just explaining the run as it's happening, but doing so in a rehearsed way. Where's the Fallout 4 one where he shows the fucking...
Because
it's in the thumbnail. Where is it?
So
Here it is.
Top level is the vault. So I hope this is visible.
Brings out a fucking
So,
physical
this is the
demonstration
vault. This
to
top
explain
level
what's
is the
going
vault,
on.
Okay, and this is us. This
Very
is
funny.
Chocolatine. Okay, so Chocolatine. This is called. This is the COC point. We talked about this earlier.
Very funny. So trying not to take myself too seriously while also explaining what's going on. That's kind of the vibe. That's the idea. I think I got kind of close with preparing for stuff like this, but just trying to do that at a GDQ. Yeah, I'm not someone who has ever really been interested in like speedrunning the Fallout games, but I've played the 3D Fallout games and I was super entertained.
Now I'm going to be showing off that slope jump ability. So my garnet's going to be used later, thing to grab now. And now we're going back to that clock room that I talked about earlier with the wolf relic in hand, and we are going to be using that to get outside of getting the dive kick and using the it turns
I'm
out
just explaining stuff.
even through the air, where Alucard can't shield dash in the air.
Wolf movement can be faster. Can be faster than shield dashing in some cases.
You can only do it on the ground. You get hit, but if you get hit now, think about it. So we're just kind of.
What was I saying? About shield dash. You can't shield dash in the air. Yeah. That's kind of funny. Yeah, that could be used for comedy, perhaps. That could also be, I mean, can't shield dash in the air. Bat is also useful for stuff like that. I don't know. We'll figure out something. We have a little over a month to workshop this. I'll probably spend at least a little bit every day practicing, both running the category with no reset strats, because I have to relearn all the no reset strats, basically. It's just map buffering. Is there anything else that I need to worry about that's in like no reset specific? It's just map buffering the death skip and doing the wolf entry without a timer.
Sitting here chilling, and just like that, we're on world record.
Say, make it here.
Past the
Explaining that we're on world record pace is funny, maybe. I don't know. Is there a way to do it without it being like cringe? To explain that we might be on world record pace because of the clock rush. I'll think about it. I will be like, yo, I made an entire video explaining this. Because, I mean, shout outs to my video. Just say we're on the desired cycle. Or fastest cycle. I'm just wondering if I can make a bit out of like, yo, guys, we're gonna get world record or something like that. But I feel like that's kind of overplayed and cringy. I don't know. I'm just thinking about the possibilities of turning that into a bit. Otherwise, I will, without an audience, no. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. So yeah, in that case, we'll just be like, we're on the best cycle. Just call it the best possible cycle. Just so people are aware. Well, it's actually technically not the best possible. Yeah, we're on it. We're on the desired cycle. We're on a good cycle. I'll just call it the fast cycle. Or something like that.
death skip.
I might hint that like we could technically go faster, but in order to explain that, I have like a 20-minute video explaining just that or something like that. And that could be a good way to talk about my clock rush video. There is technically a faster cycle, but that would take too long to explain. or something along the lines of I made a 25-minute video explaining just that. Something like that. I'll figure it out.
It's a little Mistral will teleport you. One of the most important things for this run is like very start. I'm not actually using the stopwatch ability. They don't need it. One of the most important things for this run is that there is the item known as the shield rod in the Coliseum as well.
Okay, we're here to grab shield rod and mist. We are here to grab shield rod and mist. Shield rod lets us cast spells based on what shield we are using. Shield rod plus Alucard shield is insane! 5 exclamation marks.
Well, and that is
some would even say
like
poggers.
one of the most overpowered weapons in this. This boss fight's very unique because these bosses are going
Okay, explains that they don't move. We know exactly why they don't move. It's partially due to the cutscene, right? Minotaur and where wolf do not. I want to make sure that I'm like correct with this. Like they're waiting for the cutscene to finish, but that they don't just wait for the cutscene to finish because they go. I don't know. It's weird. Because, like, you skip the cutscene and then they wait, like, 5... Yeah, kind of. It's weird, right? What do I say here?
to be standing still, but I'm not actually using the stopwatch ability. They don't get affected by the stopwatch. They're actually waiting for the cutscene to finish playing out, except I actually skip.
Okay. I don't like that explanation that much. But, yeah, don't talk about the stopwatch. Because maybe I should make a big note of me skipping the cutscene as I enter. Their AI activates late. I'm gonna skip this cutscene, and by doing so, it activates the boss's AI later than normal, causing them to stand still. Sure. Something like that.
Skipped that cutscene, and the developers never.
Whatever. Talking about the developers.
What to do if the player skips the cutscene?
Boo.
So they're waiting for the cutscene to finish, but the
Boo.
cutscene
Nobody cares. Stop talking about the developers like you know them.
You can just hit them until they die.
God, this guy sucks. Why does anybody
And
watch
now
him?
that we've grabbed the Mist Relic, we're going to be grabbing that shield rod that I talked about earlier. Real quick, clearing the room with the Soul Seal. I'm going to be damage boosting off of a gunman here.
No, I'm not going to
Right
mention the
on
devs
top of the
ever.
shield rod. Library card out of there.
That's just some play-by-play analysis, which I can just do on the fly whenever.
And there we go. This run is just full of different glitches and tricks. I'm going to be using a slope jump with the wolf in combination with a dive kick to get some extra height onto a ledge here. Let me see if I can do it. Very tricky. Ooh, bad RNG from the...
What am I talking about? God, this guy sucks. Boo, you stink. Yeah, that part's pretty good.
book ledge.
Saying I get bad RNG, nobody cares.
This run is
Unless I get like actually screwed over, I might be like, ah, dang, that was a bad RNG. The books have random patterns, so we're just gonna set it up again. Yeah, claiming that it's bad RNG and then getting the trick anyways is stupid.
just full of different glitches and tricks. I'm going to be using a slope.
I am gonna be using. I'm gonna write this bar for bar using a slope jump with the wolf in combination with a dive kick to
Slope jump with
Commentating on RNG. Yeah, I think I was just really quick to be like, oh, fuck, I screwed up the trick, but then I ended up getting it anyways. So, I don't know.
In combination with a dive kick to get some extra height on.
To get extra height to reach a ledge. What did I say?
To a ledge here. Let me see if I can do it. Very true.
To reach here, something like that. Yeah, explaining the books have random patterns don't matter unless it gets brought up, and I'll have time to explain that if I fail the trick because of a random pattern.
Tricky. Ooh, bad RNG from the book, but I just barely made it onto that ledge.
Yeah, like if I don't execute it 100% perfectly and have to do like a backup miss, doesn't really matter.
Oh my goodness, that is
'cause they don't
very
know.
tight.
Great job.
We do this to get the fairy card. Relic. Or fairy familiar.
The books that fall out of that shelf there, they're a little bit random, the exact pattern that they give you. If they give you an absolutely abysmal pattern, you can just like dive kick off of them,
Yeah, I think explaining the book pattern stuff doesn't matter.
but also take damage on the same frame, and it's really
What's up, Dante? Welcome, everybody.
annoying. And the reason we got the
Who's
fairy-
just now joining. To explain what we're doing, I'm writing down notes from a commentary run that I did like a year ago, because I'm going to be doing I'm prepping for my speedrun showcase. Exactly. Tide Shaper figured it out. You're so smart. Should have been doing shop glitch. Yeah, I should have been explaining the shop glitch this during this time. I don't know if I have enough time. Maybe that's why. Maybe I don't have enough time to explain shop glitch beforehand. We'll try it out. Shop glitch. We might have timed it. I don't know. This is part of why I'm writing notes now, and then we're gonna do runs with the notes. Yeah, I'm stealing all the hard work that this this stinky dumb idiot came up with. I don't even think I pointed in the right direction. I wasn't looking at my camera. I'm basically writing an essay. Yeah, Well, I mean, I'm like preparing for a performance. Shop glitch explanation. Fairy dialogue. Over. How do I explain it here?
card is because I'm going to be setting that fairy card up for a glitch here. Summon the fairy. Let me see if I can get it.
Yeah, see, I'm not explaining what's happening because I was
Very fast
late.
fairy there. There we go. We got it. And essentially what this is allowing me to do is to sell that garnet that I picked up earlier to this to the shopkeeper here while equipping it, which underflows it from 0 to...
Yeah, I feel like I could have done a better job explaining this. I think I even had better notes at the time, and I think I might have just like threw in my explanation here. So, yeah, after the first castle is over, like the second castle is so chill. The second castle is basically like, I'm here, I got everything I need. We're going from boss to boss and killing them fast. Eating ass, smoking grass, you know.
Tribute.
Yo, easy me. Thank you for the 9 months. How you
steal
been?
men's souls and make them your slaves.
I should have enough time to come up with a better explanation. So, explaining fairy dialogue over fairy dialogue during shop cut scene. Lets me open the equipment menu when I'm not supposed to. I can then sell my garnet at the same time as equipping it, which causes an underflow. This might be going into detail might be interesting. Yeah, it's tough. There's not enough time. I think if I take the entirety of the time it takes me to, because how much time do I really have? I have enough time for
random. Just barely made.
So I do this.
Very tricky. Ooh, bad RNG from the book.
Let's assume that I get it.
Just barely made it.
Okay. I'm basically 10 minutes even, and then I have
in the game, the duplicate card shield.
About a minute to explain everything that's going on here. It should be doable. I don't know how much detail we can get in a minute, but I also need to explain that I'm buying the duplicator and mana prisms and what those do. This game is just so information dense with its speedruns. You can delay duplicator and MP for clock tower. I think that's what we ended up. I think we did the same exact thing. We both had deja vu at the same time. I think you came up with this idea last time too. Dupe and mana explained at clock tower. Because now we have to explain the floor clip. We literally talked about this last time.
And then re-equipping this mana prism, and from there, the mana prism gives me a refill of my mana basically whenever I use it, whenever I want, and that's important because mana is very important for going fast in this game. I'm just gonna do some wolf platforming here. Nice. It's a little bit faster than moving his Alucard. This is another case where using the wolf is nice. I'm gonna go for a damage boost. Random, which kind of damage boost you end up getting? I got a decent one. There's one that sends you like through the room and is a little bit faster.
Sure.
This is fine.
But now we're gonna be seeing the Alucard shield going to work, absolutely obliterating that boss. It's done in like.
That's confusing. Which part? Oh, you're responding. Okay, cool.
Going to work, absolutely obliterating that boss.
So I explained Shield Rod now. Okay, explain Shield Rod. I don't think I need to explain the wolf movement, even though if I have time, I will.
It's done in like a fraction of a second.
All right.
What did MT say? I missed up. I equip Garnet, meaning I have 0 to sell, but I sell 1 anyways, causing the value to underflow. I equip the Garnet, giving me... I could also shorten that by saying, like, by equipping the Garnet, I can now sell 0 Garnets, which underflows. I don't know.
While you're murdering this guy, I gotta rapid fire some questions here because this is going fast. And I got
These sunglasses, these are just glasses that help me from getting headaches from staring at monitors.
Real quick before
Oh, this was so untimed. That was my fault. See, I could have been explaining the floor clip up to this point.
there is a huge skip coming through here. This is probably one of the hardest skips in the game. It's the library floor clip. I'm going to be using the wolf.
Yeah. See, I kind of paused there, and he was like, this is my time to explain stuff. And it's like, nope, it's not. Yeah, I used to be good at this game. Explain library floor clip. Using the wolf to how do I explain it here?
To clip into the floor here, using the map to help buffer the inputs because it is like double frame perfect. That's the wrong frame. I'm gonna try one more time. There it is. All right.
Okay. That was pretty good. Using the wolf to just clip into the floor and using the map to buffer the inputs because it is like super duper mega frame perfect FR on God, no cap. Perfect.
All right. That's
Underflow 0 to 255 to convey that point. I think we had the same exact issue trying to explain shop glitch last time. Like, how do you convey an underflow in a way that makes sense, that is convenient and concise? Because I have to explain it in basically like 30 seconds. All right. Here's an idea. What if I practice by going like this? Where are we? Give me here.
Slope jump with the wolf in combination.
All right. How much time do I have to... I'm going to just spitball something here. So from here, we're going to be getting the Fairy Relic. The Fairy Relic lets me summon a Fairy Familiar. I'm going to be using the Fairy Familiar to start... The Fairy Familiar is going to start talking to me. I'm going to be using her dialogue. What did I write down? Okay. Now that we have the fairy card, this will let me summon the Fairy Familiar. When I summon her, she's going to start speaking to me. I'm going to be using her dialogue to activate the shop glitch. It's going to allow me to access my inventory while talking to the shopkeeper. And I'm going to be doing... I'm going to be using the dialogue to activate the shop glitch, which will let me access my inventory while talking to the shopkeeper. This... Yeah, I'm going to have to just rap got it a little bit. This will let me execute an underflow glitch where I sell 0 of my garnets, underflowing it from 0 to 255, or... I can sell this garnet in a way that underflows it, or because I don't like the old description, which is like equip the garnet, sell the garnet. It's too much like redundancy in like how you explain it. So I just want to make it more concise by just saying that I'm selling the garnet. Sell the garnet. I could just say that I underflow the amount of garnets I have, actually. So let's see. We have fairy dialogue. Lets me open the menu while talking to the shopkeeper. This lets me underflow the amount of garnets I have from 0 to 255. I sell a bunch of garnets to have as much money as I need for the rest of the run. 4 sentences. That seems pretty good. I don't think explaining how to do the underflow matters. I think just explaining that I'm doing an underflow matters. I think that's the way I'm going to go about it. Let me write that in my notes. So we got step 1, fairy dialogue plus shopkeeper. Part 2, we have I'm underflowing them for sale. I think saying underflowing them for sale as one sentence doesn't convey it very well to me. I feel like it can be confusing, like underflowing them for sale. Huh? I think emphasizing it by saying I will be selling these as a separate sentence just fine. Fairy dialogue, shopkeep. Lets me access my menu while talking to the shop Keeper. What was the third one? This lets me underflow. The garnet I picked up earlier from $0 to $2.55. I then sell a bunch of them to afford everything I need for the rest of the run. I could make a joke and be like, I'm here to rob the shopkeeper, blah, blah, blah. I think that's also an option, but I think that... so what we did is we looked into the game's code. And the game didn't like that, so it got confused. All right, let's try this real quick. So we did that jump to get the fairy. We're going to be using the fairy for a glitch coming up here. So by summoning the fairy, she's going to start talking to me. I'm going to be using that dialogue at the same time as starting the cutscene with the shopkeeper. This lets me access my menu while talking to the shopkeeper. This will let me underflow the amount of garnets I have from 0 to 255. I can then sell as much as I need to, and then buy a bunch of stuff in the shop that I will need for the rest of the run. Something like that. We'll blah, blah, blah. That's a pretty quick explanation, and I can do it just in time to like focus on the menu itself, even though I could probably do the menu while talking. Something like that. That'll get ironed out. And then I can start explaining, okay, so coming up from here, we're going to be doing some more wolf movement, and I'm going to be setting up for the boss fight. For the boss fight, we're going to be using Alucard Shield and the Shield Rod spell that I just did. This will kill boss super duper fast. Then after that, we're going to be setting up for pretty much the hardest trick in the entire game. I think I realized that I'm filling a lot of the dead air because I basically just have bullet points to get through, but I have to explain them at a certain time, so. Just play worse and you'll have more time to explain. You're a fucking genius.
The skips in the game, it's the library floor clip. I'm going to be using the...
How long did this run take? This run took me 34 minutes. Yeah, I should be getting like a 32. A 32 something, or maybe a 33 if I'm really bad.
Wolf to clip into the floor here.
What was my final time?
I don't know.
32:04. Never mind. That was a good run. Holy shit, I forgot this run was actually pretty good. 32:04 for a no reset's pretty good.
0 to most over and shield rod to my Alucard shield. And then re-equipping this mana prism, and from there and that's important because mana is very important for going fast in this game. Alucard, this is another case where using the wolf is nice. I'm going to go for a damage boost. Random,
I think explaining the mana prism there is fine. Explaining that is probably fine.
The hardest here, using the map to help buffer the inputs because it is like double frame perfect. That's the wrong frame. I'm going to try one more time.
I do think missing the wolf clip made the explanation cleaner. Or
that
clearer,
still saves
maybe.
Time if you get it second try. So.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's one of the more technical tricks in this game. And now that we have the Bat Relic, we can use the Bat Relic using the Wing Smash spell that I was talking about earlier to fly very, very quickly and just...
I use the time when I'm in the floor to explain freaking Wing Smashing. I'm so smart that I came up with these notes like a year ago. Goddamn. It's almost like we planned this shit. God damn.
Completely escape the library that way. It's a little bit faster than doing it the intended way by like leaving the way that we can.
Sure.
And the Wing Smash itself as like the last little bit, because we have a tiny bit of talking room after this next section. The Wing Smash is a very technical input. The way that
Bro, I do not sit here and explain the wing smash input, right? Why did we leave this in? Yeah, I was just fumbling over my words. I think I was just flustered because the guy cut me off while I was going to explain things, and it kind of threw me out for a loop. That's my guess. I don't know. We have a tiny what? So let's hear him out. Let's let him cook. What does he say here?
You perform it, it's you hold the jump button, and then while you're holding the jump button, you have to do a 3/4 circle motion on the joystick or D-pad, and then
I think we talked about it last time. It is really hard to get across how difficult the input is without explaining it. But explaining it makes it sound stupid. Because people are sitting there like, jump button, do 3/4 circle. And I wonder if explaining it, even if it sounds stupid, is worth it. Because I don't know. I think it's hard to really convey the difficulty. To my understanding, I don't think anybody has found I do think it is worth it. Yeah, it probably is.
and release the jump button. You have to do this over and over again within like about a second. And if you miss the input, you drop out of the wing smash and you transform back into the Alucard, and it's quite slow. And you don't get to keep any of that really good momentum. So every time you see me flying there,
That last bit was a little rough. Yeah. Oh, God. God damn. Hold on. Who's messaging me? Let me make sure I'm not leaking any DMs when I do this. Oh, it wasn't even on the right thing. So it says that I have a bunch of DMs. Where are they? Oh. They weren't DMs. They were just pings on a different server. All right, we're good. Back to this.
every second I'm doing a 3/4 circle input while holding and releasing the jump button.
People shouldn't think that you're just holding forward. Yeah, that's true. Things that will help will be eliminating words like and pauses. I mean, like, that's just how I speak. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's going to happen when I'm trying to recite something. Sometimes you need to pause to let your brain catch up to like what you're saying. I'm not the best public speaker in that regard. I don't have zero what's the word called when you do an There's like a specific word for it. Regardless, that's just how I speak. It's like a fighting game input. I will never use that explanation in my life. I'd rather die. I didn't explain the mana prism and the duplicator thing for Clock Tower. So, do I explain it after explaining wing smashing? So, wing smashing costs MP. It's very technical. Every time I do the input, it costs MP. That's why we got the duplicator and the mana prism, so I can continuously refill my MP. So I think after we explain wing smashing is when we explain duplicator and mana prism. Okay. Wing smashing. Technical input. In the outer wall, that's what we talked about when we should do it, but like, okay, let's assume we can start explaining the wing smash here, because I think I got caught up.
If you get it second try, so.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, so we explain wing smash here, explain that it costs, okay. Wing smash cost MP. Use mana prism plus duplicator to refill MP whenever we want. Then explain that wing smash, technical input. I think we go for the long explanation. Hold, jump. 3/4 circle motion. Release. Jump. And that. We have to do this input over and over again within 1 second of the last wing smash to keep a wing smash chain going. Do a 3/4 circle while holding jump. Yeah. That's a little bit better. We do a 3/4 circle motion while holding jump to do a wing smash. We have to do this input over and over again within 1 second of the last wing smash to keep a wing smash chain going. Otherwise, we are forced to probably shouldn't say untransform. Transform back into Alucard. Yeah, the movement gets yeah, Succubus is where we start to see Gravity Boots movement. Which is very slow. Or something. Explain that we lose time for doing so. All right.
It's more.
Then we do that
Smash,
during
and
this
you,
section.
Transform back into Alucard, and it's quite slow. And you don't get to keep any of that real input while holding and releasing the jump button. And we can use that to like maneuver through these rooms extremely quickly. This being one of the hardest rooms in the game. All right.
I didn't even try. It's because I was in the middle of explaining stuff. I want to explain this earlier so I have quiet time for Clock Tower Room. Because it would be nice to be able to show off the most precise room in the game done well.
Like maneuver through these rooms extremely quickly. This being one of the hardest rooms in the game. All right. Nice. Making it through that gap there.
All right. All right, so really quick. One, what does the duplicator do? Because I know the mana prison gives you mana.
I never explained it. Nice. Just saying that this is the most precise room in the game might be enough. That's what I will say, yeah. We're coming up on the most precise room in the game.
I don't know what the duplicator
Quiet
does.
dime
It
for
seems
me.
really-
The duplicate potions or mana. So yeah, that's
Now, Leapstone gives me double jump plus a dive kick. Leapstone gives double jump plus a dive kick, which we can combine with. I think I explained it in the hallway. That transform. How do I explain it?
That's why we buy it. Specifically, see my mana, which is that blue bar at the top, go down. I would just run out and not be able to do wing smashes, which is quite slow compared to just being able to do that.
I never explain it.
Another interesting thing of tech theory that you might have just saw me do is I'm actually dive kicking because I just grabbed the leap stone, which gives you access to both a double jump and a dive kick right through this room. I'm going to dive kick and transform into the bat, and the bat maintains your horizontal momentum.
There we go. That's what it was. Yep. I was supposed to explain it earlier, but I was explaining the other thing. I remember. Maintaining horizontal momentum. Yeah, there's time to explain before the All-Rock skip.
When you dive kick and transform into it. So we're using that a lot to start our wing smash
Tribute.
chains because it's a tiny
You
bit faster.
steal men's souls
Yo, what's up,
and
Array?
make them your slaves.
Thank you for the 11 months of Prime. Appreciate you. What was my explanation as to why we do it?
So we're using that a lot to start our wing smash chains because it's a tiny bit faster than transforming without moving because we're spending that entire transformation animation moving.
Okay. This is going to be a broken door style explanation. What does that mean? Let's talk about some parallel universes. I thought it was a funny joke. Reptile dysfunction. All-Rock skip, I'd probably just call it like an out of bounds skip or something like that. We'll figure out why, because I want to explain why we do it, but it's just fast. I'll just say it lets us move fast. Fast while transforming into that. Something like that.
There's another out of bounds I'm going to be doing here. Hold on. There's so much in this
No
one.
worries,
Hold on,
no
one
worries. My next
second.
question will come after that. That's cool.
Yes. It's frame perfect, and we got it. There we go. I'm using the heart refresh to pause the screen in this particular area. It's a chapel exclusive.
I keep saying pause the screen and not freeze the screen, but regardless.
Glitch, and it sends us out of bounds.
Chapel exclusive, frame perfect. Letting us enter all rocks quarters. From behind. I don't know.
Bounds into this like black void, and we use this out of bounds to get into all Roch's quarters in an unintended way.
In an unintended way. I don't like that. I think enter from behind, yes. And plus there's the sexual innuendo there, which is always funny.
And yeah, from here we're going to be just doing some more like general movement with the bat now. You can see me zipping around, flying extremely quickly, and going to our next destination, which is the Aurochs boss fight.
I think we explained.
What kind of controller do you use? Because I know
We'll prefer people using DualShock 2.
So after the Aurochs out of bounds, we have nothing to talk about, I don't think, except for Aurochs zip, which happens quite a bit later. So maybe 1 or 2 donations. Aurochs zip attempt. Now, do I lead up into the Aurochs zip, or do I just not even mention it? Go for it and don't mention it unless I get it. I think we don't mention it unless I get it.
A lot of runners will use game when I do the run to be most comfortable. Let me see if I can get it. This is going to be tough to set up. I'll just go for it, YOLO. No.
What am I doing? I was so bad. Yeah, because then I have to explain, like, oh, well, I wanted to go for a glitch, but then I didn't do it. And blah, 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 blah. Yeah, show, don't tell, exactly.
The run, so this is the gravity.
Don't mention all rocks zip unless you get it. If I get all rock zip, what do I even say? What do I even call it? I don't even know. Just be like, yo, we got the all rock zip. Let's go. Ta-da. Yeah, I think I'm going to be like, yell incoherently.
Boots that we're grabbing right here. Huge vertical jump by pressing down, up, and jump. And we're
Kids like that. Be like, yo, If I get this skip, I'm gonna give everybody in the audience $1 million in V-Bucks. You guys like Fortnite? Any Fortnite enjoyers in the chat?
We're gonna be chaining.
We get gravity boots. Yo, that saves like so much time. Shit. Don't mention Aurochs zip unless you get it. We introduce. We are getting gravity boots. Because that's the thing is I won't explain the zip. They're probably going to be reading donos when it's happening. So I might have to interrupt the donos by being like, that's actually a little awkward, but whatever. I don't really care. Because I'm going to be like, okay, we don't have anything much going on here. Just some donos. Grab gravity boots. How do I explain it?
Vertical jump by pressing down, up, and jump. And we're going to be chaining that in sections where we need to climb vertically, and then moving right into another floor.
Yeah, I don't like that explanation. That felt like, oh, we're here to get gravity boots. Yeah, no one cares about the input. Exactly. Because explaining the input doesn't matter for gravity jump, but explaining for wing smash does matter because that is like the majority of what people need to know about wing smashing is that you don't just press the wing smash button. Here, if we just press the gravity jump button, it doesn't change anything. In gravity boots, which we'll be using later for vertical sections. Which we will be using to climb vertical sections quickly. Something like that. I think we explained. Yeah, we'll do more time. Yeah, we'll talk about the momentum there a little bit. Yeah, I think we bring up that the bat preserves momentum once we get leap zone because people are going to be seeing me do the bat dive like a lot up until that point. Bringing it up there and then having more time to explain it during the vertical, or just being like, this is another example of momentum being preserved. Another floor clip, just like in the library. This lets us enter the caverns from out of bounds or something. I don't know.
Clip similar to the one that we did in the library using the wolf. I'm going to be going for another one right here. This one is just as technical, just as difficult. There we go. Oh, one frame off. No.
That sucked. Dude, I even got the jump frame. I'm like, on transform frame, I got two. That's easy. And then, yeah, I fucked it up.
Second try is
literally how
doing this in real
it
time,
is right. That was correct, but I didn't buffer the input. Oh, well, I did there.
I'm using the map to help buffer these inputs because doing this.
No, then where was it?
Map buffering is here. This one is.
Show me how I missed it, please. I don't want to be stupid. So I was one frame off here, and then I get a 3-frame buffer. Wait, no, that was 1, 2. Oh, so my subpixels were fucky?
This one is just as
how?
technical, just as difficult.
It must have been the way that I did the turnaround. Because I should have a 2-frame untransform up here. Was it a 3-frame? Oh, this might not be recording at 60 FPS. It definitely isn't recording at 60 FPS, that's why. Okay.
Dang. Yeah, I'm using them near impossible. Second try is not bad. I will take that.
Or some frames might be skipping or something. I don't know.
I guess to finish explaining a little bit about, because this game, there's a lot of different glitches that we can do. There's a lot of different ways to skip the intended way of beating the game. So the way that we route it is much more important to focus on like just killing the bosses in an optimal route.
Dude, what am I talking
It's
about?
one of the important like quest items to getting to the
Is this where I talk about like we don't need the silver ring? What? What am I talking about? I think we just donations from here until Scylla skip. Once we get the clip. Sure.
holy glasses item, which is required to get that
We'll work on the pacing.
keeper of the second castle. He's already saved and cleansed.
We might be able to talk about another example of, or we just get to be like, we can finally show off like a combination of a lot of the movement tech here, something like that. Of the bat preserving with gravity jumps this time, something like that. Yeah, there's no point to talk about Richter because we skip Richter. So why bring up anything that is going to be skipped? Like, unless it's like super duper obvious.
Of his evil curse.
They don't even remember who that is
without the
exactly.
need for the holy glasses. Out of there using
I think
some
I'm just
slick
talking about like the vanilla game, like people who played this game casually, which I shouldn't appeal to that. I should appeal to people that are literally just watching this, regardless of how much knowledge they have.
gravity jumps and bat movement there. Really cool.
See,
Holy
I didn't even get a chance
He's
to explain
already
it because I was too
saved
busy
and
talking about
cleansed of
fucking
his
Richter.
evil curse.
I think I could just preface it by being like, here's the first time we get to use all of our movement options in combination together to clear rooms quickly. Because legitimately, we're using every single relic here. We're using Bat.
He's already saved and cleansed.
We're using
of his
Leap
evil
Stone.
curse
We're using Mist.
without the need for the holy
We're using
glasses.
Double Jump. We're using Gravity
And
Jumps.
That is going to mean that we don't need to actually pick up those items.
I feel like explaining that we're using all of our movement options in just this one room in combination with each other to go fast is like what we should be emphasizing in this room. Because this room is sick. This is one of the coolest movement rooms that we
He's
get.
already saved
Like this
and
section right here
cleansed of his
is
evil curse without the
should be
need for the
emphasized as
holy
like really
glasses.
cool movement. Because it
And
is.
That is going to mean that we don't need to actually pick up those items. We can just escape out of there using some slick gravity jumps and
Yeah, I like put it on at the
bat
end.
movement
Yeah.
there. Really cool. It's one of my favorite rooms in the game to go through quickly. And then immediately afterwards, thrown into yet another glitch.
Yep. Cool. Then we have Shilla skip explanation. So, how do I explain Scylla skip?
This next boss fight, there is a door that can deload if there's too many sprites on the screen. So
Is that how I choose to explain it? Saying there's too many sprites on the screen? Because that's technically not true. I could just say this. I mean, it's fair. I feel like sprites do affect it. I feel like it's better just to say that we have a door that doesn't load properly. Okay. There is a door behind the boss that doesn't load properly. And we can take advantage of that by loading it on top of us, pushing us through the floor, skipping some backtracking. Yeah. And saving like 10 seconds.
Goal is to deload that door and then reload it on top of me, pushing me through the floor to allow me to escape the boss fight a tiny bit quicker. Let me see if I can get it. I have to just kill this boss.
Oh, that I'll just say escape the boss fight. Escaping the boss fight much faster than normal. Sweet.
Screen, enter the room. The door's not there. Now it is. It's going to push me into the ground, and I can leave the room. It saves like 10 seconds. It's very, very quick. There we go. Re-equip that mana prism. Grabbing this toadstool for a glitch I'm going to be doing later.
I'm such a fucking nerd, but yeah. You even say we're going to zip back out if I'm low on time. Yeah. I think I'll have enough time to explain it, depending on what's going on. Because we have time to explain. Because we'll have time to explain the movement during the succubus section. And then the entire time I'm falling and fighting Scylla, it's pretty quick.
And yeah, this is one of the tighter like wing smash sections in the game, because you don't want to touch any of this like sloped terrain, because what it ends up doing is it actually pushes the bat in the direction of the sloped terrain. Uh-oh, ran out of mana there.
Explaining terrain boosting here doesn't make sense because I'm not taking advantage of it. But explaining that I have a tight window to wing smash to not touch the ceiling. I can just explain, if I really want to explain this section. Tight wing smash section. Don't want to touch the water. And don't want to hit the ceiling. That's if I want to explain it. I'll put that with some asterisks.
That's what it looks like when you run out of mana. It just forces you out of your transformation.
Let's speed this up a little bit, actually.
In the game is slightly random based off of your level ups, and it seems like I got a very bad mana roll.
Explaining mana rolls. Yeah, it's my excuse to why I'm bad.
So it's very possible that like some of the tricks or strats that I'd be going for might not exactly work.
I'm just Johning at this point. I just want to complain so fucking bad. I'm like, oh, I missed a wing smash. I ran out of mana. I need to explain.
Out the way that I want to.
But I don't need to. It's
I
fine.
might be a little tight on mana, but I will do my best to react accordingly. So every run is a tiny bit different because of that. Some strats you are able to go for. Some you have to be a little more conservative because of the amount of mana that you have.
Conservative, K-Kona?
But yeah, the first castle's almost over. Can you believe it? It feels like we just started.
It's been a very frantic.
Yeah, it's very frantic. And that part of that is my commentating style. I feel like I could have done this better. I think some people might like the high energy because I do have to be a rap god in some places, but I don't know.
Run, but I do want to say I think pretty much understand everything that you're doing here, so I'm not at all confused by it. It's very fast, it's very fun.
Yes, this is my favorite category of the game because there's just so much going on so quickly all the time. Here's another out of bounds. This one's my favorite in the game. It saves exactly 1 second if you do it quickly. Oh.
I don't even think that's necessarily true anymore, but yo, my favorite out of bounds using the toad stool to take damage and clip through the floor. Poggers.
Let's see.
There it is. I got the fast one too. That one's slightly
That one is fast.
It saves exactly 1 second if you do it quickly. Oh.
Let's see.
That's insta, bro. Sheesh. That one's based off of your positioning. It's because I picked it up midair. Is that why? Damn. So wait, is that? Could you actually practice to make that faster?
It saves exactly 1 second if you do it quickly. Oh.
Let's see.
So I think it's because it's the timing in which I throw the toadstool and then dive kick into it. Interesting. Very interesting. More hidden mechanics. I did an entire movement mechanics video a while ago. I want to do more explanational type videos in the future anyways. That's probably what my channel's going to like slowly transition towards, especially in January when I start uploading less frequently. They're going to be more closer aligned to like the video that I made explaining the clock rush. I want to be doing more videos like that. I might optimize
I got the
this.
fast one too. That one's slightly random. So what you're doing is you're taking damage while
Slightly
stopping the corner,
random.
by collecting that toadstool item, which is like a joke item that's meant to do damage to the player, and it actually forces you into the ground, and then you touch the load zone from above. Otherwise, like the load zone's like 2 rooms away, and it's like not that far to just touch it normally, so it's not like a required
I think the way I'm explaining this is fine. It's pretty casual.
glitch or anything like that. But it's one of my favorites. And here is the final boss of the first castle. I'm going to be using.
How was I vulnerable there? That's the part that I don't know. I don't understand. I think the idea is I'm collecting it with my dive kick on the same frame that I transform. So it lets me do the transformation animation, but I've already collected it. I think it's frame perfect. But because I'm invincible during the transformation animation, it just stores the damage until I transform into bat, maybe? Because that's what it looked like. It looked like I collected it with the dive kick and then transformed on the next frame or something like that. So it didn't give me enough time to like go through the damage animation. Because the damage is delayed by a little bit, is it not? When you pick up a toadstool, it doesn't damage you frame 1. I think it takes like a few frames for it to damage you.
That library card again to get out here quicker instead of backtracking through the way that we came. And that was the final boss of the first castle. All that's left for us to do is to go to the second castle, kill all the bosses there, and then join up with Dracula, beating Dracula, and finish.
So this is where the commentary can be way more chill. From like here on out, there's like nothing to explain. That's like all the tricks are basically done. Last boss of first castle done. Let's leave with using a library card and head to the second castle. Something like that. How's it going? We're doing good. We're going through an old run that I did where I did some commentary for GDQ, and I'm writing some notes on commentary for my upcoming GDQ run.
Glitch that allows us to interact with Richter.
Do I explain Richter skip right away? I'm going to go for breakless. So how do I explain Richter skip? I'm going to... Hold on. Here, I'll let you guys watch. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to use the bathroom.
We are going to be doing that
while I think about this.
That allows us to interact with Richter in a way that he's already saved and we don't need to worry about the holy glasses at all. And that trick, I'm going to be going for a less consistent but slightly faster method. If I don't end up getting it, I'll go for the more consistent method. It's a more relatively recently discovered version of Richter skip because there's so many different ways to skip this boss. Essentially, if you enter the room in a way that wasn't really intended by the developers, what ends up happening is that they load the default state for that room, which is Richter just being saved. So there's many different ways to do it, but the fastest way is to do a very particular jump while in the wolf transformation. So that's what I'm going to be going for right here. Sit there. One more try. No. There we go. Got it. Nice. So I have to be careful there to skip the cutscene at the right time too, otherwise you soft lock, you'll just walk against the ledge forever. It's really embarrassing when it happens. But yeah, that trick, I jumped into the room using the wolf's skinny hitbox, and the game never detected me entering the room, so it essentially loads the default state for that room, which is Richter just being saved. So we can just move past there without having to worry about him at all. And that's basically the last bit of like crazy glitches or crazy tech for quite a while. So now is a more like just gonna be basic movement from boss to boss. So this would be a great time to answer questions if people have any, or just you know.
All right, I'll keep an eye out for chat right now if any come up. But questions from me. So you said this is kind of like I guess your favorite category for this. What other kind of categories seem to be popular for this game?
Any % no save corruption is the most popular category of this game, and no save corruption essentially means that you don't like do save corruption, which leads to arbitrary code execution, which leads to just pulling up the credits within the first like 3 minutes of the game. Sure. Because of course this game has that. Again, that was also found by stock folder. Yeah, that any % no save corruption is the main category that most people play. This one is like any % no save corruption, plus you also get to do a bunch of extra cool stuff.
All right. I will be doing a precise jump with the wolf that lets me skip a trigger that would normally force me How do I explain it here?
Or just by the developers. What ends up happening is that they load the default state for that room. Essentially,
Well, that's the thing is I can't call Richter a boss because one, he's not a boss, and two, this is the all bosses speedrun. So if I say I'm skipping a boss, people are gonna be like, "Hey, wait a minute! This is all bosses. You can't skip the boss." That's not cheater. Skip a trigger that I would normally need a Let's me skip the shaft orb fight. I could say normally at this point in the game, normally at this point the game will check to see if you are wearing the holy glasses. I will be doing a precise jump with the wolf that lets me skip the trigger. Lets me skip that check. And fly straight into the second castle. I think that's fair. Normally at this point in the game, it will check to see if you're wearing the holy glasses. However, I'm going to be doing a precise jump with the wolf that lets me skip that check and fly straight into the second castle. Don't have to explain Shaft Orb. Don't have to explain Richter. Don't have to explain anything. Just explain that I'm supposed to be wearing a specific item. I'm going to be skipping it. So, you know. Am I going to be doing randomizer at GDQ? Ask GDQ. I keep submitting randomizers for GDQ. They haven't accepted one yet. I don't know. It's up to them. If it was up to me, I would have done one by now, for sure.
if you enter the room in a way that wasn't really intended to do it, but
because this whole like I'm gonna enter the room, but the developers didn't intend it. But also there's a Richter and Shaft and the dog priest called Shaft.
One more try.
Wait, I was doing breakless back then? I was doing breakless a year ago?
Right here.
I'm bad at it.
One more try.
But I was doing breakless. I thought breakless was... Huh. This was over a year ago, wasn't it? I don't even know.
There we go. Got it. Nice.
I feel like breakless was
I have to be careful there.
much more recent.
You'll just walk against the ledge forever. It's really embarrassing when it happens.
Oh, I guess I could acknowledge that we could have soft locked after. Yeah, what is time? We could have soft locked if I dropped my wing smash input. If I failed a wing smash there, but we didn't. Let's go, gamers. Can I get a hell yeah, brother in the chat?
But yeah, that trick, I jumped into the room using the wolf's skinny hitbox, and the game
All right.
detected me entering the room, so it essentially loads the default state for that room, which is Richter just being safe. So we can just move past there without having to worry about him at all. And that's basically the last bit of like...
Yeah, I think I want to be hell yeah, brother. I'm trying to make a more concise version of this kind of run, because I think I went a little too in depth in some areas and kind of tripped over my words by trying to go more in depth. So instead, we're going to try for a more casual approach while also going deep on the topics that I think are unique to this game, like wing smash movements, stuff like that. So overall, I like the
glitches or crazy tech for quite a while. So now is a more like just gonna be basic movement.
Yeah. Yeah, after Richter skip, it's kind of like vibe time plus donations for a while, right?
From boss to boss. So this would be a great time to answer questions that people
Said this is kind of like
is the most popular category. Leads to just pulling up the credits with. Yeah, that any percent no save corruption is and stuff.
Next question.
Like doing the dive kicks transformation into bat. That stuff isn't really like useful in any percent because it's faster to just skip it and use the bat to just fly everywhere. But this gives you access to a couple more movement options.
All right, so I got two for you here really quick from me.
Skip it and use the bat for access to like.
Wait, go ahead really quick.
I was just gonna say like access to the gravity boots or the leap stone, which gives you access to like doing the dive kicks transformation into bat. That stuff isn't really like useful in any percent because it's faster to just skip it and use the bat to just fly everywhere. But this gives you access to a couple more movement options.
All right, so I got two for you.
Third person? I'm not going to commentate in third person while I'm playing the video game. First of all, always say we when you're commentating for like a GDQ-esque run because it helps people feel like they're included, right? It's like, okay, this is what we are going to be going for. After this next, we have to go to, you know, because it lets people feel included, right? But being like, okay, so now they are going, like, what's the third person? Who am I referring to? Alucard is going to go do this. Alucard is going to, that feels weird. It's definitely we.
Here really quick from me. I guess
this is the section dimension terrain boosting. You are correct. I think we said that last year, Tim. Stair. Zigzag. Unless there's a better place to mention terrain boosting. What do you want? Beans, what is wrong with you? Come here. Come here. I feel like this is the first place we actually take advantage of it. Hold on, let me grab Beans. He's crying. What's going on? Huh? What are you doing? Ah. Come here. No, you don't want to hang out? I think it's just because, like, I might need to fill dead air at this point because there's not a lot to talk about for the rest of the run. So if I need to talk about something, this is where I'll talk about terrain boosting. This is just meant to be a run that explains what's going on in an entertaining way. That's all it's meant to be. There might be donations happening at this point because I'll probably just be like, now's a great time for donations and just kind of let them go.
So does a lot of tech carry between Castlevania games, like doing a lot of stuff here? What made you want to run this game?
What made me want to run this? My childhood favorites.
Because I'm just answering questions at this point.
Like learn Flash, the one that we hang out in.
Really quick, I saw a really good question in chat. So you play on the 360. Are there actually version differences between the games?
Oh my goodness. PlayStation version and the X game and reducing lag import mobile. That is actually, I think it's like 3 based off of.
I'm just trying to think of like what I could even bring up if I wanted to, because this is all just like, you know, doppelganger still get frozen by stopwatch. What a virgin, lol, everyone. Laugh at him so bad. XD. I don't know.
The important thing to note is that the PlayStation version and the Xbox 360 version are essentially identical outside of load times and lag. The 360 version is faster when it comes to loading the game and reducing lag. Those ones are based off of the PSP version. Like, it's a very decent way to play the game if that's your only way to play it. It's relatively cheap too. I think it's like $3 in total. But yeah, different game. There's like a bonus game inside of a game, and just got patched out. Only bundled with Dracula X.
Yo, this movement go fucking crazy post death. Yo, this movement go crazy. FR. Check this shit out, my dude. Yeah, the bat room should be like, yo, everybody shut up. Look at this.
Completely different game. There's like a bonus game.
Okay,
inside
I'm
of the
bad.
game. And that version is like not as good. It's not super accurate to the original, so a lot of people end up disliking it. A lot of glitches got patched out. So for the most part,
There as well that asked was so does
Well, not, I wouldn't say super duper familiar. This is my main too difficult.
We could always, if we need to talk about like, yo, we got the hardest boss fight coming up. When is GDQ? January 8th is my run, I believe. We could always just be like, yo, this is the hardest boss in the game. Yo, this is the hardest boss in the game. Shield ride, shred this nerd lol. Cool.
And like there are some backdash canceling that exists in most of the Castlevania games that kind of transfers over, even though the muscle memory is not the same in a way. But I would say if you're interested in Metroidvania.
all right?
So it depends on what your definition of worst is. If you're trying to play as Alucard, I would say the Sega Saturn version is incomplete in a lot of ways. It does have its own Saturn versions of Marie on the Requiem port if you can Xbox Series S or X. Like,
All right, sure. Load.
Yeah, everything else is just a culmination of just movement that we've already done before.
for even like the randomizer, for example, because that's like, if you're interested in learning more about it. The speedrun community basically checking it out visual necessarily because it is still like speedrunning, but it's a lot of people
Like the bats, like
have access to the bat. You instantly have access to the wing smash. It's like a hidden mechanic on either the D-pad or the joystick, and then that whole input chain. And if you last trick of the game up,
Yeah, all we have to do is explain relic skip. That's it. Reverse shift line, just like we did for death skip. But this time, it sends us into the ceiling, and we pop out the other side. Skipping right to the final boss fights. Yeah, this is probably the best time to be like, if there's no donations, be like, learning the game. I have a tutorial for this category on my YouTube channel. I have tutorials for any percent as well. There's many other tutorials that exist. Speedrun.com has all the resources you need. We have a Discord channel. You could also get into playing the randomizer. Randomizer is a very casual and fun way to get started learning and playing this game. Stuff like that. I think that's probably like just kind of vamp. This would be the best time to have somebody on the couch to talk to, for sure. Is like the first castle, I probably won't need much help with commentary. And then the second castle is going to be like a lot more just having a guy to ask questions or someone I can just vibe with and talk about the game with. I'll hit up Bobby and see what he wants to do. I need to go through. I've been lazy. I need to read the like the couch requirements and see what I need to do to get somebody on my couch in the first place. I don't know exactly what the process is, but all right. Dude, I need a new chair so bad. I hate sitting in this chair. Oh well.
flying so much the one that I did.
I'm ready to let's do a run. This is Mega Man X6, yes. You know what I will do for GDQ, actually? I think I won't, obviously, just for the sake of the marathon run, I'm not going to play my own music, obviously. But I should get practiced using the in-game music, because I'm not going to, like... Last time I tried to do a GDQ thing, I was like, hey, by the way, the music is going to be muted. I just don't want to sit in silence without game music, so... And I'm not going to put it on them to play music to the stream. Because this saves like 5 seconds in this run. Who cares? I'm not going to go for world record on GDQ. You know what I mean? So I should get used to using the in-game music again. Because it does change some of the timings. Oh, I was actually going to go turn off the music because muscle memory is very strong. Does not need to say area random speedrun anymore because that is not what we were doing. We are playing all bosses. There we go. Move that down here. Yeah, I'm just going to do no reset runs. I don't think I'm going to try and commentate it too much. $31.30. Yeah, we can compare against that to make our lives feel better. Alrighty, y'all. GDQ practice runs starting now. When was the last time you heard me play with game music on Xbox? It's been a while. Hopefully that doesn't like screw with any of my muscle memory. Yeah, I'm just going to go through and do a no reset run just for practice. I'll start doing the commentary with it. Probably starting like tomorrow or the day after. Because I'm a little tired. We've been doing so much talking already. And I do want to just kind of like chill and hang with you guys a little bit instead of just like... Because when I do commentary run practice, I can't really talk to you guys. I kind of just have to stick with the script and just, you know. And do that over and over and over again. But getting the notes down is like half the battle. Now that I have notes written down, I'll study the notes and... we'll start doing like commentated runs soon. But for here, I'm just going to be... For the here and now, I'm just going to be doing no resets. The main difference being I need to practice my...
You steal
no,
men's
winner.
souls and make them your slaves.
Okay. Thank you for the gifted sub. Oh my god, the menus are so much slower. This is why I need to practice. Oh my god, that menu, like, ugh. The amount of time it takes for the menus to pop up is slower, which is why we turn the music off. If you ever wonder why I play without music, that's why. It does actually save time. So I'm going to have to get used to playing with slightly slower menus again. What? Speaking of requesting songs, what about him? Oh, man. Oh, I can't use Decisive Battle FF6. That's copyright claimed. People have tried. That song gets copyright claimed. A lot of Final Fantasy music gets copyright claimed. Sad, I know. Almost all of Final Fantasy 6 and 7 soundtrack gets copyright claimed. Basically, if it is one of your favorite Final Fantasy songs, it's probably copyright claimed. Unless it's from Final Fantasy 8 or 10. For whatever reason, 8 and 10 don't seem to have a lot of copyright claims. I don't know. So I think, wait, Crypt of the Necrodancer, what now? No, Crypt of the Necrodancer doesn't, if my memory serves correct. I need to finish playing Crypt of the Necrodancer. I played it like once ever for like 12 hours straight and had so much fun and then never played it again. Yeah, Necrodancer's great. No, Square just puts a lot of their music up on like streaming services, and they've made albums using Square music. So because of that, that stuff gets claimed more often than like other video game companies. You demand your channel points back? Damn. Okay, if you ever use channel points for something and you want the channel points back, you could always type !scam. And that will take care of your issue. It'll resolve it immediately. I've used one of the Necro Dancer songs for a while in my playlist and have never gotten copyright claimed. Yeah, no, you can just type !scam and oh, wait a minute. What is that? A YouTube video? I think if you click the YouTube video, it'll explain everything. Is that YouTube video still up? I hope so. Otherwise, this joke is not going to land. Yep. All right, perfect. Wow, thanks for that. No worries, man. I got you. You know, I do what I do for the people. We kill this guy, yeah. I have to remember that for the route. Nice floor clip. I guess I should also explain. I could try and explain experience route at some point. Maybe. We'll see if it comes up. I only think about maybe explaining it because I go out of my way to kill that guy. And it's kind of like obvious. And people ask all the time when I do runs like, hey, why do you kill that guy? So I feel like it's a very common question that could be answered. Be like, oh, I kill him because it sets up my experience to level up only on bosses for the rest of the run, basically. Because I don't think I level up anywhere except for bosses. So that's good. Well, that's not true, actually, but... I could try and explain it. It's not that hard. Yeah, I'll come up with an explanation. We'll have time. We have a month, over a month of time to prep and practice. So, and I'm happy that I'm giving myself a lot of time as well. I want to make sure that I don't sound like an idiot for GDQ. Oops. Because God knows the next time I'll ever get a chance to be on a GDQ stream. Oh, man. How you guys doing? What games were selected for the shuffler? We have, what was it? Dracula X, Sonic 3, Vector Man, Lion King, and some other game that I don't remember. It's that Spider-Man game. What is it called? How do I remember them all? It happened like 2 hours ago. It wasn't that long ago. Dude, come on. This is a no reset. Don't do this to me. Oh. I'm getting fucking Dacid broed. Dude. Okay. We got the backup. Whatever. Maximum Carnage. Thank you. Oh my god, the menus are so slow!
Thank you for...
Dude, I forgot how slow these menus can be sometimes. Oh, man. Oh.
Interested in this.
That's crazy. That's gonna take a little while to get used to since I just was going for world record and I've been playing with the faster menus now for a while. That's probably gonna take me like a couple of runs to get used to. We're losing a lot of time, right? Yeah, we are. Bro, the books are so fun. I love the books. One frame off. There we go. Pretty quick second try, though. Dude, where's my MP? What the hell? Dude, my MP... Did I not get the cross or something? Why is my MP so low? What the hell? I must have a really bad MP roll or something. Because this is, like, pretty bad. I have, like, one less wing smash than I should. What's the flex for? It's for anybody who wants to spend that much money and get literally nothing for it. To flex on everybody else that they have that much. It was designed to just be a placeholder for like something that was really expensive, and obviously 696969 is very funny. I don't think I need to explain that part. It once had a practical purpose, but I forget why I needed something that expensive as a placeholder. Pretty good movement. Nice. Jeez, these menus are really slow. Roasted these nuts, yeah. I don't think I want to get into the business of trying to sell food. Did I just gold split with bad menus? Huh? That's a real gold split. Huh? That's a real gold split. I'm so confused I lost time. What the fuck? That was with slower menus that lost me like half a second. What? Yeah, my gold split there is bad. Maybe not half a second, but, you know, probably like a quarter of a second. The PSP version has a different game engine, kind of. They had to modify the game engine, kind of. They had to modify the way the inputs work on the PSP version because it was designed to work on a PSP that didn't have enough buttons. So because of that, they added some buffering and some other weird stuff to make the game feel weird. Essentially, like, it's not just you thinking that the inputs feel worse, they are worse. Just slightly, though. Most casuals wouldn't notice, though. Unless you play both versions quite often. Still better than the mobile port? It is the mobile port. It's the same exact version of the game. The PSP port and the mobile port are the same. Yeah, we're losing a lot of time. PSP doesn't give you a wing smash button. I mean, yeah, but mechanically and it is the same version of the game. Obviously, the mobile version has like mobile specific features added to it, but you get what I'm saying. The glitches are the same, the game engine is the same, stuff like that. Like if you played with a controller on the mobile version, it is the same exact experience as playing on PSP. Outside of the menus looking a little different, I guess. Yeah, that was correct. I was second guessing myself because my menus felt a little weird there. Nice. I don't really know why you would want to play that version of Maria, but I mean, pop off, King, you do you. I'd love to see a PC port of this game. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not on PC either. They would likely just port the PSP or the mobile version to PC, which would be unfortunate. But, I mean, it's something, I guess. Who knows? Maybe people might be able to mod the PSP version to feel more like the PlayStation version, if it ever did come to PC. Oh, frick. Yeah, I'm thankful, or I'm hopeful that it'll happen eventually, but yeah. It's hard to tell whether, or well, how long it'll take for them to finally port it to PC. I don't know if anybody wants to even touch the project of porting this to PC. Come on. I'll literally do it for free. That's the issue, though, is Konami doesn't want you to do it for free. They want you to give them money to do it. Duh. You know Konami hates voice actors. Nice. I mean, anytime I've ever played the Saturn version, I just emulate it. Finding an actual Saturn and then finding a disc of Nocturne in the Moonlight is way too much to ask. It gets very expensive. Nice. Early. Oh, buddy, I love pressing them on the same frame. Oh well. Have I played Breath of the Wild? Yeah, I have. I had some ideas for learning to speedrun Breath of the Wild for fun, because the speedrun is pretty interesting. The way I wanted to learn how to do it, though, I can't do yet. I have an idea for a stream where I learn to speedrun Breath of the Wild. But I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. What's up, Ariel? Welcome. Nice. Not bad. If you want to play Breath of the Wild and that's the only reason you want to have a Switch, if you don't mind not playing it portably, you can just boot up the Wii U emulator, I forget what it's called, and you can play the game at 60 frames per second. Like 1080p. You can, I think, up to 4K even. So there's like no reason to buy a Switch then. Just emulate the game. Plus you could do like randomizers through the emulator and stuff like that, which already exists. Like Breath of the Wild randomizer and stuff like that. Oops. Like if I play Breath of the Wild and like learn to speedrun it, it will be through an emulator. I will not play on console. I could have saved that. Interesting. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, Galmoth got a lot of HP. I mean, you know me. I'm not giving Nintendo a single dime if I don't have to. Nintendo will have to pry the money from my cold dead hands before I even consider buying a video game of theirs ever again. No, Galmoth is not a required boss. Nah, dude, N64 was a bad console. It had 3 games. It had Majora's Mask, it had Ocarina of Time, and it had Super Mario 64. Those were the only 3 N64 games. GameCube, on the other hand, that shit slap. GameCube was that good shit. Fuck you, Grant. Star Fox 64 was good. Star Fox 64 is just Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. Turok was awesome. You're lying to yourself. When was the last time you went out of your way to play Turok? On an N64, tell me. It's so awesome you went out of your way to play it recently, right? I don't know what do you think of GDQ nowadays? What do you mean? You want to know what I think of GDQ? It is a charity marathon that raises multiple millions of dollars for charity each year. What, do you want me to be like, GDQ is falling off? They're just a bunch of liberal SJWs or whatever? Is that what you want me to say? Is that like the reaction you expect? You expect me to be like, actually, GDQ is bad for speedrunning because... I don't know. They're just people that run events. Yeah. I like them. I've been to a lot of GDQs. A lot of my friends either work for or have worked for GDQ in the past. A lot of my friends I've met at GDQs, I don't know. All the people I know are great. Yeah. Music is loud. Okay. Cool. I guess that makes sense, actually, because my audio is balanced around no music. And now that I turn the music on, it's probably, yeah. I'll probably have to turn it down a little bit.
Go back whence you came. Trouble the soul of my mother no more. How?
I'll lower it to, like
How is
like
it
there.
that I've been so defeated? You have been doomed ever since you lost the ability to love.
The audio is fine. Oh, well then, I don't know what you guys are complaining about then.
What profit is it to a man?
But yeah, no, GDQ, if you don't like it anymore, it's probably because you and your affiliation with speedrunning is different now than when you first saw it. It also obviously has a different vibe. It's not people getting together to hang out. It's people getting together to provide a service to a charity event.
She said, "Do not hate you."
So, like, yeah, the vibes are going to be
If you
different
cannot
because of
live
that.
with them, then at least do them no harm, for theirs is already a hard
Either way.
lot. She also said to tell you that she would love you for
that was
all
fun.
eternity.
Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I'm going to call it here. I'm going to rest up a little bit.
Farewell, my son.
But yeah, I'll be live again tomorrow practicing some more and doing more randomizers. So hopefully I can see you guys then. Take it easy. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, also, check out new YouTube uploads. I uploaded today. Please watch them. Same with the YouTube short. Watch the shorts, please. I would like it if you did. And let me know what you think of them in the comments of the shorts videos. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.